Hi folks, Sid here, Border Archery. Um, when you make limbs that are torsionally enhanced, okay, there's a bit of a strange one. It's £12 set of limbs, right? The limb is actually torsionally stiffer than it is, right? Than it is in poundage. When you make limbs that are torsionally stiff, there's an option for the bow to be able to shoot more through centre because everything tightens up quicker. So what we did was we ended up cutting our risers 5/16 past centre, almost 8mm past centre. And that allows a wide range of diameter of arrows to go up true centre shot, thereabouts. Okay. Lots of people still want slightly outside the centre. Some people have tuned their bows to running true centre. Paradox, that whole oscillation thing still happens. You can't shoot like a compound with a trigger where it just spits out through centre in comparison, right? So don't go down that route. It's still a recurve. It's still a traditional bow. But what we noticed was because of the range of diameters of arrows, etc., you might want some centre shot adjustment. Now, it gets a bit annoying when you've got your thickness of leather and you have to peel the leather off to put something back in to stick it back on, and you kind of end up losing the will to want to tune your bow using centre shot, so you end up just doing point weight and arrow length, which works. One of the small extra methods of tuning your bow would be centre shot adjustment. Okay, so what we do is we have a little product called the adjustable strike plate, right? It's not a button, right? And this is where some of the rules and regulations in competition get themselves in a bit of a knot. This is not a plunger button. It is not in that league of forgiveness, okay? So don't even think about that. But what it does allow you to do is it allows you to move your centre shot to tune your bow. That in itself, because it's a hard surface, it's just the same as the window of your bow, that in itself is quite a neat feature. If you're not in competition, then it doesn't really matter, in which case these comes in really handy. Now what we do is we can drill these, the reason for the big flange is so that you can accommodate the radius on the riser window and get down so that you can use it off the shelf. Now this was my dad's bow. So what my dad has done was he put a small piece of Velcro on the front leading edge here so that when the arrow goes on it, when you put your arrow on, it doesn't clatter, it doesn't chatter and make a noise. Shelf was covered in Velcro, and then put a little bit of Velcro on the outside face of the adjustable strike plate. Okay, so here he's got it covered in Velcro, and there's the adjustment there. Okay, so what you would do is you would back off the lock ring and push it in, pull it out. Okay, so and that allows you, it's at the back there, it's harder to see, right? But that allows you to tune the centre shot based on your arrow diameter, and there's absolutely no difference between that and changing out the foam backers on the back of a Hoyt Super Rest, or putting in a piece of leather or a matchstick in behind to achieve a very similar thing. The problem with the matchstick is you know how to pull it off to stick another one back on if you want to change the size, if you want to cut the matchstick in half or add a thicker one, whatever. Okay, the adjustable strike plate allows you to do it on the fly. Okay, now, as I say, my dad just used to simply put a piece of leather on. We've seen, as a piece of Velcro on, we've seen people putting leather on. But one of the neat ones that I quite liked, and I've done it kind of crudely, was that double-sided carpet tape, right? So you put a big arch, right? But you cut a hole in the double-sided tape on a piece of leather. You cut a hole on the leather, and that allows the strike plate to rotate freely. So if I take the lock ring off for demonstration, typical, you can hopefully see the leather bulging out. Yeah. Yeah, so you can control the amount of strike plate position you've got without actually showing it. The only bit you'll see would be the bit on this side. And it doesn't stick out far. It's a nice, neat little adjustable strike plate for those that want to change their centre shot position. Now, having 8mm past centre, you've got lots of room to move. We don't limit you, right? With a 5/16 past centre. 99.99999% of bows are 3/16 or less, or even on true centre. We think you probably want more tunability in your bow, so we cut ours further and further past centre. So you can get a true centre shot even with the biggest of arrows when you've got 8mm of space in there, okay, and still have a strike plate, a protective covering on the riser. Okay, so that's our strike plate. That's how it works. It's a real simple little thing. It can work in conjunction with our humps for the Tempest, so that you can shoot off a hump with the strike plate running through the hump. Okay, so you can do that, right? So there you go. I just thought I'd let you see how it works and how some people have put the tape round the outside so that the strike plate can move. Right, there you go. Right, any comments, stick them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks for watching.